The story kicks off with our main character, Jodie, giving off major main character energy but clearly going through it. She's talking about a weird gift she has, seeing things no one else can. The whole vibe is chaotic and disoriented, setting the stage for a seriously wild ride. A local cop finds Jodie looking like she just survived a zombie apocalypse on the side of the road. He's trying to get some basic info, but she's completely shut down, not yapping at all. The tension is real, as it's clear she's running from something big. Suddenly, the whole situation escalates. A dude in a suit storms in, and it turns out he's got a whole squad with him. They're definitely not local police. These guys are feds or something even spookier. They're here for Jodie, and they are not asking nicely, which is a major red flag. Jodie, or more accurately, her invisible friend Aiden, decides they've had enough. The room explodes into chaos as Aiden goes on a rampage. It's a total paranormal freakout, showing that messing with Jodie is a terrible, terrible idea. This is our first real glimpse of Aiden's power. We flash back to a much younger Jodie, looking all innocent and playing in her room. Her foster mom calls her for an appointment, and the mood immediately shifts. It's clear that even as a little kid, her life was anything but normal, filled with tests and observations. At the DPA facility, a young scientist named Nathan Dawkins greets Jodie. He seems kind, a stark contrast to the sterile, intimidating environment. He's the one in charge of studying her, trying to understand the entity that's always with her. This is the beginning of a very complicated relationship. The experiment begins. Jodie is hooked up to a bunch of sensors, looking like a tiny science project. Nathan asks her to identify cards being held in another room. This is where we see her and Aiden work together, a supernatural duo tackling some pretty weird homework assignments. After acing the card test, Nathan ups the ante, asking Jodie to have Aiden move objects in the other room. Aiden starts small, knocking over some blocks, but things quickly get out of hand. The observer in the other room, Kathleen, starts to panic as Aiden's power escalates. Aiden completely loses it, trapping Kathleen and trashing the room. Jodie can't control him, and she's terrified, screaming that he won't listen to her. This moment establishes a core conflict. Aiden is both her protector and a chaotic force she can't always rein in. It's not a gift, it's a burden. We jump forward in time. Jodie is now an adult working for the CIA on an undercover mission at an embassy party. She's with her handler, Ryan Clayton, and the tension is high. Her objective is to steal sensitive documents, using Aiden to bypass security. This is her power, weaponized. Jodie needs to find a quiet place to focus so Aiden can do his thing. She navigates the fancy party, blending in while looking for a way upstairs. The whole scene feels like a spy movie, but with the added twist of having a ghost for a partner. It's a high-stakes operation. Using Aiden, Jodie scouts the upper floor, bypassing guards and security cameras. Aiden is the ultimate infiltration tool, phasing through walls and interacting with the environment. The teamwork between them is seamless, honed by years of practice, but it feels cold and calculated now, a tool for espionage. Hi there. If you want to enjoy more gaming lore without grinding for 60 hours, hit that subscribe button. I do the grinding so you don't have to. Your support really helps the channel. Aiden causes a distraction, allowing Jodie to slip into the target's office. The plan is in full motion. He then manipulates the security monitors and unlocks the safe hidden behind a painting. It's a complex series of tasks that showcases how much control Jodie has gained over her abilities. With the safe open, Jodie quickly uses Aiden to read the documents inside. The mission is a success, but there's no time to celebrate. She has to get out before anyone realizes what happened. The pressure is on to escape without leaving a trace, blending back into the party downstairs. After the mission, Jodie is visibly shaken and angry. She tells Ryan she wants to leave immediately, brushing off his touch. The emotional toll of using her powers for the CIA is starting to show. This isn't just a job for her, it's a constant violation of her own being. Another flashback, this time to Jodie as a teenager. Cole, her minder, is trying to convince her to go to a birthday party. Jodie is full of anxiety, worried that the other kids will hate her. It's a relatable teen moment, but amplified by her unique and isolating circumstances. Jodie arrives at the party and it's immediately awkward. The other teens are a mix of curious and hostile, especially when they find out she's from the paranormal department. The vibe is off, and it feels like she's walking into a trap, not a celebration. She has a brief, sweet moment with a boy named Matt. They dance and talk, and for a second, it seems like she might have a normal teenage experience. It's a glimpse of the life she desperately wants, one where she can just be a girl at a party, not an experiment. The party's host, Kristen, and her friends turn on Jodie, mocking her and her gift. They demand a demonstration of her powers, turning her into a spectacle. The brief moment of normalcy is shattered, and the cruelty of the other teens is on full display. It's just brutal. The bullying escalates when Kristen opens Jodie's gift, a rare book of poetry, and mocks it relentlessly. The other kids join in, calling her a freak and a witch. This is the final straw, the moment that pushes Jodie and Aiden over the edge. You just know something bad is about to happen. In a horrifying act of cruelty, the teens lock Jodie in a closet under the stairs, chanting and taunting her. Trapped and terrified, Jodie's fear fuels Aiden. The line has been crossed, and Aiden is about to unleash a level of chaos these bullies are not prepared for. Aiden goes full poltergeist on the house, moving furniture, breaking things, and terrifying the bullies. The house becomes a supernatural war zone as he systematically turns their own party against them. It's a terrifying yet oddly satisfying display of karmic justice for their awful behavior. The party ends in chaos, with the house on fire and the teens screaming that Jodie is a devil. Cole arrives to take her home, finding her in the middle of the destruction. This event cements her isolation, proving that trying to be normal will only ever end in disaster. We go back even further to the very first time young Jodie met Nathan Dawkins. Her foster parents brought her to him, desperate for help. Jodie is small and scared, a little girl burdened by a power no one understands, least of all herself. It's a sad, vulnerable starting point. Nathan tries to get Jodie to open up about her invisible friend. He asks her to draw Aiden, and she draws a ghostly figure connected to her by a cord. This drawing is a powerful visual representation of their bond, a connection that is both a part of her and a separate, tethered being. Jodie explains her relationship with Aiden. He's not a friend she controls, but a lion in a cage, angry about being tied to her. She reveals that the real threat isn't Aiden, but the monsters that come at night, hinting at a darker, more dangerous aspect of the supernatural world. The scene shifts to Jodie's rigorous CIA training. She's being pushed to her physical limits, navigating obstacle courses and combat drills. This is the process that transformed her from a scared girl into a capable operative, honing her body to match the power of her mind. Her training continues with weapons and tactical exercises. Ryan Clayton is her instructor, and their dynamic is all business. She's learning to shoot, take cover, and move like a soldier. The agency isn't just studying her, They are actively shaping her into a weapon for their own purposes. Jodie officially graduates and becomes a CIA operative. Ryan and the other agents welcome her to the agency. It's a milestone moment, but it feels less like an achievement and more like the end of her childhood. She's now fully integrated into a world of secrets and violence. We're back in the present day with Jodie on the run. She's exhausted, trying to get some sleep on a train, but Aiden is restless. Her escape from the CIA is clearly taking its toll. The peace she's fighting for seems impossibly far away as the authorities close in. The police swarm the train, having finally located her. A massive shootout erupts, and Jodie is forced to fight her way out. Using Aiden to possess officers and create chaos, she makes a desperate escape off the train and into the surrounding woods, with an army of cops in pursuit. The chase continues through a dense forest. Jodie navigates treacherous terrain, evading police dogs and officers with flashlights. It's a tense and grueling sequence that highlights her resilience and survival skills. She's not just a girl with a ghost. She's a trained operative fighting for her life. Jodie finds a motorbike, her ticket out of the woods. After a struggle with the owner, she speeds off, leading the police on a high-speed chase down a dark highway. This is a classic action movie moment, showing just how far she's willing to go to stay free. The chase culminates at a police roadblock in a small town. Trapped, Jodie has no choice but to go straight through. Aiden unleashes his full power, creating a path of destruction that allows her to break through the blockade and escape, leaving a scene of total chaos in her wake. Cornered in the town, Jodie makes her last stand against a SWAT team. She tells Aiden to take care of them, and he possesses a helicopter pilot, causing it to crash. This is a declaration of war. She's done running and is now willing to use lethal force to protect herself. After decimating the SWAT team, Jodie delivers a final chilling warning through a possessed officer. She tells them to leave her alone, or next time she'll kill everyone. It's a dark turning point, showing a hardened Jodie who has been pushed to her absolute limit. Another flashback to Jodie's childhood with her foster parents. It's a seemingly normal day, but the atmosphere in the house is tense and unhappy. Jodie is isolated, playing alone and trying to navigate a home where she is clearly feared and misunderstood by the people meant to care for her. Her foster mom asks her to get some oil from the garage, a simple chore that feels fraught with tension. Even mundane moments are tinged with the supernatural. Aiden is always present, a silent observer and occasional troublemaker, making a normal childhood impossible for Jodie. Jodie sees some neighborhood kids playing and decides to join them, breaking her parents' rule about leaving the yard. It's a small act of rebellion in search of friendship. However, the fun quickly turns sour when one of the boys becomes aggressive during a snowball fight. Aiden steps in to defend Jodie, violently throwing the boy into a car with a snowball. The other kids are terrified, calling her a witch. This incident reinforces her parents' fears and leads to her being punished, further isolating her and deepening the rift within her family. That night, her foster parents have a heated argument about her. Her foster father calls her a monster and a demon, convinced she's a danger to them all. He declares that she has to go, sealing her fate. Jodie overhears everything, her heart breaking as her only home rejects her. Later that night, the monsters Jodie mentioned to Nathan finally appear. Dark, terrifying entities swarm her room, attacking her. This is a purely horrifying experience that proves her fears were real. It's not just Aiden. She's a beacon for the entire supernatural world. A young Nathan and Cole receive an urgent call. A DPA lab has had a catastrophic failure with their Condenser, a machine designed to open a rift to the infraworld. Entities have flooded the facility, and Jodie is the only one who can possibly stop them. Her childhood is officially over. Jodie, despite being just a child, agrees to go into the haunted lab. She arrives to a scene of military chaos. The adults are terrified, but they are sending a little girl in to clean up their mess. The weight of the world is literally on her small shoulders. Inside the lab, the atmosphere is chilling. It's dark, silent, and littered with bodies. Jodie and Aiden must navigate this house of horrors to reach the condenser in the basement. The scale of the disaster is immense, and she is completely alone in facing it. As she ventures deeper, she's attacked by the hostile entities from the other side. These are not like Aiden. They are malevolent and violent. Jodie has to rely on Aiden to fight them off, creating a protective shield to survive their onslaught. It's a terrifying battle for survival. She finds a lone survivor, a terrified scientist who tells her the entities are from the depths of the infraworld. He manages to get the elevator working for her before he is tragically killed. His sacrifice gives Jodie a path forward, but underscores the extreme danger she is in. Jodie finally reaches the condenser room, the source of the breach. A massive, swirling portal to the infraworld dominates the chamber. The energy is overwhelming, and it's clear that closing this rift is going to be an almost impossible task, pushing her and Aiden to their limits. To shut down the condenser, Jodie must make a dangerous run to the control console, while Aiden protects her from a relentless swarm of entities. It's a desperate, coordinated effort. The entire sequence is a chaotic fight against overwhelming odds, a true trial by fire for the young girl. After an epic struggle, Jodie succeeds in shutting down the condenser and closing the rift. She collapses, exhausted but alive. Nathan rushes to her side, filled with guilt and relief. The experience has changed her forever, proving that she is destined for more than just lab tests. We return to the present, with Jodie on the run and in a bad state. She collapses in an alley, only to be found by a homeless man named Stan. He takes her in, offering her a safe place to rest under a bridge. It's a small act of kindness in a world that has been relentlessly cruel. Jodie wakes up in Stan's makeshift home. He introduces her to the realities of life on the streets. She also meets the other members of their small found family, a pregnant young woman named Tuesday, a man named Jimmy struggling with addiction, and a former teacher named Walter. To make money for food, Jodie picks up a guitar and starts playing on the street. Her haunting song attracts a small crowd and earns them enough cash to eat. It's a beautiful, somber moment that shows a different side of her, a creative soul beneath the trained operative. A group of rich bullies attacks Stan for his money, but Jodie intervenes. She uses her CIA training to fight them off, shocking everyone. When Aiden joins the fray, the bullies are terrified and flee. Stan is amazed, realizing there's much more to Jodie than meets the eye. That night, Jodie decides to reveal her secret to her new friends. She uses Aiden to help Tuesday connect with her unborn baby and allows Stan to speak with his deceased wife. It's a powerful, emotional scene that brings them all closer as she uses her gift to heal rather than harm. Tuesday goes into labor and the group scrambles to help. They have no resources, so Jodie and Stan break into a nearby supermarket to steal supplies. They create a makeshift delivery room in an abandoned building, determined to give the baby a fighting chance in a harsh world. Jodie helps deliver the baby, a little girl named Zoe. It's a raw and beautiful moment of new life amidst despair. For the first time, Jodie is part of a real supportive family, and they all share in the joy and wonder of the newborn child. Tragedy strikes when the same bullies from before return for revenge, setting the abandoned building on fire. Jodie must use Aiden to save her friends from the inferno. It's a chaotic and heroic rescue as she navigates the collapsing structure to get everyone out safely. Outside, the baby isn't breathing. In a desperate act, Jodie enters the infraworld to pull Zoe's soul back to her body, saving her life. The experience is disorienting and nearly kills her, but it's a profound display of her power and love for her found family. While in the infraworld, Jodie has a vision of her biological mother, Nora, crying for her lost baby. It's a confusing and heartbreaking glimpse into her own origins. She also sees a terrifying vision of the future, a world consumed by darkness, hinting at a coming apocalypse. Aiden forces Jodie back to the world of the living against her will, saving her from being lost forever. She wakes up, gasping for air, profoundly changed by her journey to the other side. Her friends are safe, but she now carries the weight of a terrifying prophecy. Sometime later, it's revealed that the CIA has found Jodie, who has been in a coma for months. Just as they arrive to take her, she vanishes from her hospital room. She's on the run again, but this time, she's not just escaping her past, she's searching for answers. Another flashback shows the day Jodie's foster parents abandoned her at the DPA facility. It's a deeply traumatic memory, as the people who were supposed to love her leave her behind. Nathan is there to comfort her, but it's the moment she truly becomes a ward of the state. As a rebellious teenager, Jodie feels trapped by Nathan's strict rules and decides to sneak out to a bar. She wants a taste of freedom and normalcy, a night where she isn't under constant surveillance. It's a classic teen rebellion story, but with much higher stakes. To escape, Jodie has Aiden possess Cole, her minder, and uses him to get past security. It's a clever but manipulative move that shows her growing frustration and willingness to bend the rules. She's desperate for a life of her own, even if it means using people. Her night of freedom ends with Nathan catching her. He's not just angry, he's disappointed. He lectures her about the dangers and her irresponsibility. The scene highlights the complex father-daughter dynamic they have, a mix of genuine care and scientific control. After another escape, Jodie finds herself lost in a vast desert. Dehydrated and exhausted, she is on the brink of collapse. This is a new low point for her, completely alone and stripped of all support, facing the harsh indifference of nature itself. She stumbles upon a remote ranch owned by a Navajo family. The patriarch, Paul, is initially hesitant but eventually allows her to stay. She meets his two sons, Jay and Corey, and their silent, withdrawn grandmother. It's a new environment, far from the world she knows. Jodie decides to stay and help on the ranch, finding a sense of purpose in the hard physical labor. She begins to form a connection with the family and the land. It's a chance for her to heal and find a different kind of peace, away from the chaos of her past. She proves her worth by taming a stubborn horse named Ashki, something no one else could do. This act earns her the respect of Jay, the more withdrawn and skeptical of the two brothers. A bond begins to form between them, built on mutual understanding and shared secrets. That night, the ranch is attacked by a terrifying, invisible entity. Jodie realizes the family is being haunted by something ancient and malevolent. Her quiet refuge has its own dark secret, and she is once again drawn into a supernatural conflict, this time not of her own making. Determined to help, Jodie investigates the source of the entity. She has a vision that leads her to an old, cursed burial ground. Here, she pieces together the story of the Yeayatso, an evil spirit summoned by the family's ancestors that now plagues their land. Jodie realizes she is the only one who can stop the entity. Using her visions, she devises a plan to perform an ancient ritual to banish the spirit. She enlists the family to help, and together they prepare to face the ancient evil under the cover of a raging storm. The ritual is a success. Jodie, with Aiden's help, confronts the Yeayatso and forces it back into the infraworld, closing the portal. She saves the family, proving that her gift can be used for good, to protect and heal rather than just to destroy. Having found a measure of peace and purpose, Jodie decides it's time to leave the ranch. She says a heartfelt goodbye to the family, especially Jay. They offer her a home, but she knows she has to continue her journey and confront her past before she can truly be free. We flash back to a session with Nathan where he introduces Jodie to Ryan Clayton for the first time. The CIA has come to recruit her, or rather, to conscript her. It's the moment her life is officially co-opted by the government, against her will and Nathan's. Back in the present, Jodie has a date with Ryan at her new apartment. She's trying to have a normal romantic evening, but a jealous and protective Aiden is not having it. He sabotages the night at every turn, making it clear he doesn't approve of her relationship with Ryan. Despite Aiden's interference, the date goes surprisingly well. Jodie and Ryan open up to each other, sharing stories about their difficult pasts. There's a genuine connection between them, a sense that they understand each other's pain. It feels like the start of something real. Just as they are about to kiss, Aiden's jealousy boils over. He violently throws objects around the room, physically pushing Ryan away from Jodie. The night ends in chaos, another painful reminder that as long as she is tied to Aiden, a normal relationship is impossible. A somber flashback shows the night Nathan lost his wife and daughter in a car accident. Jodie is there to witness his grief. It's a devastating moment that completely shatters him. This tragedy is the root of his later obsession with the infraworld. We jump to a CIA mission in a war-torn African country. Jodie is tasked with assassinating a brutal warlord named Jamal. The mission is dangerous and morally ambiguous, pushing Jodie deeper into the dark world of espionage and targeted killings. She has become the weapon they designed. During her infiltration, Jodie meets a young boy named Salim who has been wounded. She helps him and he guides her through the dangerous city streets. This small act of humanity contrasts sharply with the deadly mission she is on, highlighting her internal conflict. Jodie locates her target but hesitates. The man is surrounded by his family, and killing him feels wrong. Despite her reservations, she follows her orders and completes the assassination, a decision that will haunt her for the rest of her life. It's a point of no return. She discovers that the man she killed, Jamal, was Salim's father. The realization is devastating. The mission was a lie, and she has just orphaned a child who helped her. This betrayal is the final straw, the event that finally pushes her to break away from the CIA. On the flight back, Jodie confronts Ryan after learning from a news report that Jamal was actually the country's democratically elected president. She feels used and disgusted. Their argument escalates until a furious Aiden causes their helicopter to crash, allowing Jodie to escape. Now a fugitive, Jodie secretly meets with Cole. She's desperate for answers about her real parents. Cole, risking everything to help her, reveals that her mother's name is Nora Gray and that she is being held in a DPA psychiatric hospital. Jodie now has a destination. Jodie and Cole infiltrate the high-security mental hospital. The atmosphere is grim and unsettling, filled with the lost and broken. It's a dark and dangerous place, but Jodie is determined to find her mother, no matter the risk to herself or to Cole. She finds Nora, who is in a catatonic state after years of being heavily sedated. Jodie uses Aiden to enter her mother's mind, a risky and intimate act of connection. She is trying to break through the fog of drugs to finally meet the mother she never knew. Inside Nora's memories, Jodie sees the truth of her birth. The DPA took her moments after she was born, lying and declaring her stillborn. Nora's grief and powerlessness are overwhelming. Jodie also learns a shocking secret. She had a twin brother who died at birth. Jodie realizes that her twin soul never left, instead becoming tethered to her. Aiden is her brother. This revelation changes everything, recontextualizing her entire life and her relationship with the entity who has always been by her side. It is the story's most profound twist. Jodie manages to briefly break her mother out of the catatonia. They share a fleeting, heartbreaking moment of connection before Nora's heart gives out. She dies in Jodie's arms, finding peace at last. As Jodie grieves, the CIA arrives and captures her. Jodie is taken to Nathan, who is now the head of the DPA and in charge of a massive new condenser. He explains that he let the CIA track her. He has one last mission for her. Another country has built its own condenser, and the CIA needs her to destroy it. Nathan offers her a deal. Complete this one last mission, and the CIA will grant her true freedom, a new identity, and a clean slate. Despite her mistrust, the promise of a normal life is too tempting to refuse. She reluctantly agrees, setting the stage for the final act. Jodie is reunited with Ryan's team for the mission. The reunion is tense, especially between her and Ryan. The betrayal and hurt are still fresh, but they have to put their personal feelings aside to work together and prevent a global catastrophe. The team travels to a remote, frozen wasteland to find the enemy condenser. The conditions are brutal, and the mission gets off to a rough start when their intel appears to be wrong. Tensions are high as they struggle to find their target in the unforgiving landscape. They discover the enemy base is underwater, accessible only by submarine. Jodie and Ryan take a two-person sub to infiltrate the facility, leaving the rest of the team behind. It's a risky plan that separates them, forcing them to rely on each other completely. Their sub is captured, and they are taken prisoner. Ryan is brutally tortured for information, but he refuses to break. Jodie is forced to watch, helpless, as the enemy commander tries to extract information about her and her connection to the infraworld. It is a grim situation. Aiden manages to break Jodie out of her cell. Now free, she must fight her way through the underwater base to rescue Ryan and destroy the condenser. It's a one-woman assault against an entire military facility, a final test of all her skills and powers. After rescuing Ryan, they set explosives and destroy the base. However, the rift to the infraworld remains open. Jodie knows she has to close it herself, even though it means going against Ryan's pleas to escape. She chooses to finish the job for the sake of the world. Jodie ventures into the heart of the rift, a chaotic and terrifying dimension. She fights her way to the core and successfully shuts it down, but the resulting explosion destroys their escape submarine. They are now trapped at the bottom of the ocean, with no way out. Trapped and facing certain death, Ryan confesses his love for Jodie. In this desperate, final moment, she admits she loves him too. It's a poignant and tragic confession, a glimpse of a future they will likely never have. They have accepted their fate. Against all odds, their team from the surface manages to find and rescue them. They survive, but the experience has changed them. Their shared trauma and confession of love hang in the air, leaving their future together uncertain but full of new, complicated possibilities. Back at the DPA, a meeting with government officials reveals their terrifying new plan to weaponize the infraworld. They see it not as a threat, but as a new frontier to conquer. This highlights the unending cycle of human greed and the true, enduring danger. Jodie goes to see Nathan one last time before she leaves for good. He reveals his obsession has consumed him. He has been using a mini condenser to communicate with his dead family, but their souls are in agony, trapped between worlds. He is lost in his grief. Jodie tries to make him see the truth, that he is torturing the ones he loves. But Nathan refuses to listen, lost in his delusion. He has crossed a line from which there is no return. Jodie leaves him, realizing he is beyond saving. This is their final tragic farewell. The CIA betrays Jodie, attempting to put her in a permanent coma, just like her mother. However, Nathan, in a final act of madness, intervenes. He reveals his plan to shut down the main condenser's containment field, merging the living world with the infraworld to be with his family forever. Aiden gets help, alerting Cole and Ryan to the danger. They rush to save Jodie as Nathan's plan unfolds. The DPA facility is thrown into chaos as the containment field fails, and entities from the other side begin to pour into our world. The apocalypse has begun. Jodie, Ryan, and Cole must fight their way to the condenser, now known as the Black Sun, to manually trigger its self-destruct sequence. It's a suicide mission into the heart of the infraworld, their only chance to save humanity from Nathan's madness. The stakes have never been higher. During the perilous journey, Cole sacrifices himself to save Jodie and Ryan, holding off a swarm of entities. His death is a heroic and heartbreaking loss, a testament to his unwavering loyalty and love for Jodie, the girl he helped raise. The team is now down to 2. They find Nathan at the heart of the Black Sun. He has found his family, but they reject him, changed by his darkness. He finally sees the error of his ways and lets Jodie pass, choosing to die and find peace. It is a moment of tragic redemption. Ryan also sacrifices himself, giving Jodie his protective gear so she can reach the self-destruct console. It's a final, selfless act of love. Now completely alone, Jodie must complete the mission and destroy the Black Sun, knowing she will not survive the blast. As she dies, Jodie's soul is pulled into the infraworld. Here, she is given a choice: stay with Aiden and the souls of her loved ones in the great beyond, or return to the world of the living and face a difficult, lonely life. It is the ultimate decision. Jodie chooses to live. She is miraculously revived, but the cost is immense. Her connection to Aiden is permanently severed. She is finally free, but also completely alone for the first time in her life. The silence is deafening and the grief is overwhelming. In the aftermath, Jodie tries to piece her life back together. She is haunted by the loss of Aiden and the trauma of her past. She writes down her story, a way to hold on to her memories as she decides what to do with the freedom she fought so hard to win. The epilogue presents Jodie with her final choice, not of life or death, but of how to live. She can choose a life with Ryan, return to the simple peace of the ranch with Jay, find solace with her found family, or face the future alone. Regardless of her choice, Jodie is plagued by visions of a dark future. The infraworld is not gone. It is coming back, and the world will be consumed by darkness. She realizes her fight is not over. She is the only one who can stand against the coming storm. Gaming lore is long and confusing, but I break it down every week. Subscribe so you never miss a plot twist or hidden detail. Thanks for watching.